scan. All right, so I mentioned including targets as a kind of safety valve in a way for color management if you don't do a full color management process. So this is something that in certain cases of material we've been more and more interested in doing. This is really pushed on us first by a project we did where we scanned some medieval manuscripts, music manuscripts. So it was handwritten music that had a lot of illustration that would be similar to illuminated manuscripts. And in that case, we were digitizing them, not for our own collections, but to contribute them to a big collaborative project that I think is hosted now at, I don't remember where it is, it's moved around a couple of places. But the place that we were submitting them to had very strict guidelines for how to do the imaging. So part of what they required was that you create this very specific target that included a ruler and color and gray patches. This is was made by taking a commercial target, I think it's a Kodak product, and just cutting it up because it's pretty rectangular. So in order to get it, slim it down so that you're not wasting a lot of space along each image, it just gets chopped up and turned into this target. So the specifications required the target, and then they also required the background. Well, they require the page edges to be shown, or the manuscript edges to be shown. They also required that the background be this particular kind of neutral gray that they specified. So we had to order that gray paper from a photographic supply house. And the idea, again, is just consistency and kind of neutral background. So if you decide that you want to show the edges of a manuscript or of a book, what are you showing people, or what are you capturing beyond that edge? It could be white, it could be black, it could be a kind of little shadow coming from the way that your scanner's operating. This neutral gray is kind of a way to deal with that question. So that was the requirement for that project, and as we were forced to do that, it made us think about our own practice, and we said, this seems like a good idea. We should really probably do this in any case where we have material that is artwork, and or color is an important part of the informational content of the thing. So these are Japanese prints, block prints. So there's some kind of hand coloring involved in them. And it met our criteria there for including a target image. So you make this choice, but then of course you've got that tension with wanting to present a pretty image for some people. So there's a little bit of a conversation. Are we sure we want to be presenting users with this? Doesn't this seem like it's distracting? And don't they really just want to see this woodblock print? And I fall back to the argument again, back to the concept of the master and the derivative. Like, if you've got this, you can always make a version that crops it out. Yeah, it's a little bit more work, but if you scan it without that, if you were to digitize it without including the color, without including the page edges, you can't go back and add them later, obviously. Right? So you can always take it away in a copy, but you can't go back and add it later. So that's part of the ideas that we've had around our practice. So we tend to err on including this now. In this case, this is just a screen grab from the way we're showing it online. So this is what the user's seeing. We didn't bother to go crop it for the user. This is a big one for libraries and archives especially. We've got a lot of fragile things, a lot of delicate things that are falling apart. What do you do? Well, sometimes you might have to say we just can't do this with the equipment we have, but you can also take it as an opportunity to get creative. So we had a kind of explicit project that we gave ourselves where we said, we need to, in our particular shop, we need to get better at having the capability to handle fragile and delicate things. And what that means is we sort of took a cue from the display of things in special collections and museums and archives. And there's a whole range of things in archival supply catalogs that can help you. These weighted bean bags and this polyethylene tape to hold down pages. These are metal bars that just serve as weights. These foam wedges can help you make improvised cradles. So the particular scanners that we have are designed to shoot things that are not laying flat. There are book cradles, so actually what you're looking at here is a cradle. But that cradle is just to support the text block, or the book pages as you flip through a book, and it goes from one page over here and the rest of the book as that shifts. It's not meant to support a book at less than 180 degrees open. So what we have to do in order to scan things like this using our equipment is to get one of the pages to be flat. So this is really tedious actually, because you go through the whole book with one page flat. This page is coming up at an angle and is not scanned, and then you go through the whole book again to get the other facing side. And then you put it together in software. So it's really tedious, but something rises to the level of importance where it needs to be scanned, and this is the equipment you have, and that's what you do. There are also other machines that will shoot a cradle that is not open 180 degrees. Will shoot other pages. So if we had thousands of books like this that we needed to digitize, we'd probably raise that to the level of, we should really purchase the machine that is made to handle that. But this is an example of